Today, we are still talking goals. This time, I will be sharing with you some of my assessment scores, as well as going over the areas that I want to focus in within each of my goal categories. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new, welcome. My name is Tracy, and I am a girl with plans. For the month of December, I have decided to do a lot of different types of videos and video series, and this video in particular is part of my 2024 goal setting series. So thus far, I have done a couple of things. The first time I actually set up my goal planner. Then I went ahead and did a little bit of brainstorming in your typical, I would say, goal categories, which I will share with you in a minute when we go over assessments and things like that. And then I also did some 2023 reflections, as well as kind of looking forward to some intentions for 2024. And then I did share with you guys my word of the year, which for 2024 is now. That is a big one for me. All of those videos are in a 2024 goal setting playlist. I will have that linked down below. All right, we're going to get a move on today. And while this sounds very like it's going to be extremely long, it's not. I'm going to try my best to keep it short. The first thing we're going to do is talk a little bit about assessments. So I did print out the Moxy Life assessment scoring, even though I'm not technically going to be doing the whole Moxy Life type system. Then I actually need to move to my first quarter, because I kind of did my own. And it's kind of interesting because I felt like I scored a little bit higher here than I gave myself, but for the most part, they were pretty much on point. So I kind of wrote, now this was just something that I created myself in Word, just created a table. And you see that I'm going to kind of be talking about 9 categories, but here I only did 8. And that is because this compass, or this wheel of life that I chose, only had 8 categories, which is fine because I think 9 would be kind of hard to divide up in one of these wheels. But the 9th one is work and learning, and I am in a pretty good place there. And I think what I'm going to do is probably, when it comes to like things like financial and work and learning, those are 2 areas of my life that I am kind of okay with. I might swap them out like either on a monthly basis or on a quarterly basis based on where the needs are. Those are definitely going to be my 2 least focused on areas, especially right now. Hopefully that will not change throughout the year because I don't want to get worse. All right, so let's quickly go over my assessment scoring. Like I said, I did use the Moxy Life assessment scoring. They have their compass assessment is available online. You just go to their website and you click on free printables. They have tons of free printables, and one of them is the compass assessment. And with that, you get your assessment scoring as well as kind of their wheel of life. So that way you can complete that as well, and you can print off as many as you need. You can save it, all the fun stuff. So I did want to kind of do that to see what happened. I did this first. So I did my starting points first, and then I kind of wanted to compare how it was. There were definitely some questions on here I did not answer. So, because I didn't really feel like they were relevant to how I am actually defining my categories. So I just marked them out, and then instead of dividing by 8, I divided by 7 or divided by 6 or what have you based on what my scores are. So my first category is personal growth and development. And what was currently working is goal setting. That is something that was new in 2023 for me, as far as setting goals and tracking them. Maybe that's what I should say. I always set annual goals, but I've never actually moved beyond setting a goal in January and then revisiting it. I didn't write what area needs improvement, but one of the big areas that just came to mind that I obviously didn't have room for was I did not do a good job of following up and doing like reflections as far as that goal setting. But another thing here again, routines, and it wasn't the actual routines where I needed improvement. It's the follow through with the routines. Self-image or self-confidence is something that I think I need to work for personal growth and development, and then making time. And when it came to my assessment scoring, so I gave myself an overall satisfaction rating of a 6. And Actually, on the Moxy Life System, it was a 7. It was a 6.87, so really close to the 7. I round up or round down based on like general math principles and rules. So yeah, that I rounded up to the 7 because it was pretty darn close. I mean, everything is kind of like midpoint. Nothing was below a 5. So it's fine. I am a little harder on myself with personal growth and development. That's probably where like the self-confidence issues come in. But I also said I would like to jump up to an 8 on there because I do think that there are things that I can do in this category that can jump me up to 2 levels or jump my score up 2 levels. And when I say my goal is an 8, that goal is for the end of the year. Okay, the next one is fun and adventure, which on the Moxy Life System, it's referred to as fun and recreation. I do think a lot of other goal setting things do refer to that as fun and recreation. My overall satisfaction was a 5 on this one, on just me kind of like writing down what's currently working and what needs improvements. And there is a big reason why I did this. I am really good at planning my quote unquote vacations, which is something that I consider like your large, not really, I guess they aren't really vacations, my worldly travels. So like I like to travel like 1 or 2 times a year. I have been taking a lot of cruises. Coming up in 2024, I just booked a trip to Egypt. So I am good there. And that, you know, you would think, oh, does that like lead to a bigger score? No, because I don't do anything else. I only take those like big trips. I'm not good at taking like weekend getaways. I'm not good at exploring my area locally. I'm not good at getting outside the house. I just don't do a lot of other stuff other than those big travel areas. So I got a 5 because I do travel, and then there's this huge willingness to travel. But it probably could be lower just thinking about general fun and rec. But I score it so highly because of how much I think that those big trips do kind of lead to overall satisfaction in my life, even when looking back over the course of the year. So that's why I did do a 5 and not lower. For my assessment scoring is actually a 6. So, and that's kind of because there are questions in the Moxy Life System where they say, like, I create moments for rest and rejuvenation. I do that perfectly fine. And then the other high one I gave is I gave myself permission to have fun without feeling guilty. I do not feel guilty at all about taking time off work to like do stuff, to even take a mental health day. I don't feel bad about that. I mean, I am fortunate enough to have accrued quite a bit of leave. So that's probably one of the reasons. But then like kind of where I'm slacking is like, I don't really reward myself when I accomplish a goal. And I don't, like I said, basically I don't do things on a regular basis that would fit into this fun type category. So on here, there is work and learning. Oh, wait a minute. Did I talk about, okay. So obviously I want to increase this by 2 scores. So I want to increase this to a 7 just because I think if I was more inclined to do things solo, I can probably even raise that to an 8. And I do want to do things solo, but I am going to have to work with other people's schedule because I am more comfortable participating in even fun and adventure activities with others. So I do kind of have to work around their schedule. So I was being realistic and say I would like to jump from a 5 to a 7, or in this case from a 6 to a 7, depending upon, I think I want to go here. As far as my scores, it was just interesting. So work and learning, I did not have that in this category, but I gave myself an 8, and it was only an 8 because of one category. Other than that, I probably would have been closer to a 9, maybe not. As I did say, I'd expand my skills through continued growth and development. I do think I struggle with that. Sometimes I do tend to get comfortable when it comes to my 9 to 5. But I know that my boss is going to be really big into that in 2024. She definitely wants us to kind of do some more professional development, some like networking, conferences, and things like that. So I feel like even with me not doing much, I just feel like because that is a goal of hers and for our agency, I think that may increase anyway. So that is another reason why that was not something that I particularly featured on here. The next one is social on here. So, sneak peek at what I'm going to do for my annual focus. social. Oh, that's my own category. I forgot. So in the Moxy Life and a lot of other systems, they do family and relationships. So family and relationships encompass your family, your friends, and any type of romantic relationships. I definitely would kind of agree with that, but I wanted a social aspect to kind of focus on starting romantic relationships, which just means getting out into the public. That is what social means. Getting out into the public, or just interacting with others on a regular basis. At this point, I will take probably even through like electronic means. But yeah, what's currently working, I just wrote what improvements are needed. Spontaneity, that probably also needs to be needed for fun and adventure. Leaving the house is what is needed. And then I wrote romantic relationships. I gave myself a 3. Just because I probably could have even gone to a 1, but I do feel like there is some intention there, but I just don't ever feel motivated to actually improve upon that score. And that's why it is still low. I definitely need to focus on that a lot this year. So that one is a 3. And then I definitely want to go to a 6. I don't want to be a 5. I want to be a 6. So that is going to be hard. But I want to push myself. Okay. Family and friends. I have been really good in 2023 at connecting with a lot of people. I probably haven't done that as much, but I have like reached out. I have actually gone to dinner and done things with a lot of people who I kind of had not really spoken with a lot in years past. I definitely want to increase the quality time that I spend with people. And that means obviously having dinner and stuff is great quality time, but I also want to kind of create more experiences and memories with people. So do things with them. And that requires me wanting to be social and go places and have more fun and adventure and inviting these people to go along. So actually all 3 of these could go hand in hand. And if I kind of do all those things, I could actually increase all of these by 1 point pretty easily just by inviting a friend to do something social that is also fun. So for family and friends, I kind of cheated and said that I was kind of a 6.5 because I did so much better than I have ever before that I felt like I needed to give myself above a 5. And then I felt like I was a little bit above a 6. So for family relationships here is actually a 7, but I didn't answer a couple of the categories. But like the reason why it was a 7, it was like I have healthy boundaries. Yes, I do. When you like stay at home and don't socialize, I guess so, right? And I am free from toxic relationships, of course, right? So that is probably a flawed 7. All right. So then that one, I obviously I do want to improve to an 8 as well. Physical health. See, we're kind of going through this kind of fast. I gave myself a 6 for both physical and mental health, which again, I split these categories up because I really, really need to focus on this. And I did not want to do a combined health and wellness categories. However, for combined health and wellness, I was a 5.87, which I did round up to a 6. I gave myself a 6 in both of these categories because I have been very honest with my doctor, and I have my primary care doctor. I've had a lot of regular appointments with her just for like lab work and medicine management and stuff like that. But I've been very honest with her about like with my thyroid issues about how I'm feeling, instead of saying, a lot of times we get into the habit of saying I'm fine. Yeah, I feel okay, type stuff like that. I've been super honest with her, and I don't know if it's me being honest or me the fact that I'm actually tracking it. I know what it is. I think I spoke on this in my last goals video. So I feel like in both of these categories, that is why I gave myself a 6 because of that one reason. Because I'm actually tracking this stuff now, I think I am better equipped to acknowledge, which I put that up. And because I'm tracking it, the intention is there to improve, and there always is intention, but I feel like for the last year, I have done a decent job of tracking a lot of stuff, especially my physical, not necessarily my mental. And then I haven't done as good with my symptoms and stuff like that. But I'm trying, and that has never been there before. Physical health, like my exercise and stuff, I've been tracking for like 8 years. So that was a little bit more routine. But yeah, like I said, consistency has been the major downfall in both of these areas, both physical health and mental health. I reach certain points where I'm like, okay, I need to do this. I need to make this change. And then I'm very motivated to do it, but that motivation seems to be short-lived. And then I wrote pre-planning. That is something that I haven't really wanted to do because I felt like I'm more inclined to do something if I can kind of go based on feeling. I think that was giving myself too much credit. I think I need to pre-plan a little bit more, probably in both areas as well. Like I said, I was willing to make a change, which is why I gave myself a 6. They probably both should have been closer to 5s, but we'll see. But because I gave myself a 6, I don't foresee myself having much change in these categories early on. But yeah, I think that's fine. Obviously, in both of these categories, I do want to get to an 8. All right, now financial. So like I said, I rated myself, my satisfaction is an 8. And then on the assessment score for Moxy Life, I also got an 8. Probably my biggest struggles, I need to do a little bit more with retirement. I'm kind of doing the bare minimum. And when I say bare minimum, literally like my 401k through my work. And then I need to reel in the frivolous spending. I am fortunate that my frivolous spending has not put me in a bind or anything of that of sorts because I have really good credit. I have pretty good savings. But I don't know when I'm not going to be seeing that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Life happens. And I want to reel in my frivolous spending so that way I'm not in a position where my credit is starting to be affected and stuff like that. And then I put tracking because that is something that I did for this year, and it is making me more aware of my frivolous spending. Although I can just look around my house and see my frivolous spending, writing it down has made me more aware. All right, and then home, which a lot of these goal planning systems refer to as physical environment, which I guess I could probably also say physical environment because I don't really do much to, like, my car is fine. I don't keep junk in it, but I don't do a really good job of cleaning that out. I was a 7.42 on the Moxy Life system, but I rated myself between a 6 and a 7 here, and it's because I've actually done things within the past 2 years. Like I got a lot of trees cut down a couple years ago, which is kind of something that in the past I wouldn't have done because of the expense associated with it. It's like, oh, do I really need to cut the trees down? I don't know, probably not, but you know, I did add some area to my yard, and now there's a little bit less leaves, you know, although right now it doesn't feel like it. But then last year I hadn't really done, I tried to, like, you know, fix the area where all the trees were removed, but it's, you know, yeah, it's still not usable space yet. So I definitely need to do that. And it's kind of like I've been doing good with minor projects, but I've been doing really bad with bigger projects like the backyard because I think I need to get help when it comes to that. And that is where I kind of struggle sometimes because I don't want to pay the expense for something like that. I'd rather just do it myself. I need to improve when it comes to decluttering and seasonal action items. That is seasonal action items all around. So my seasonal cleaning, you know, where they do spring cleaning, fall cleaning, I have not been up to that. I have been doing a lot of my basic cleaning, but a lot of the deep cleaning I have been slacking on, which is horrible because then all of a sudden, like when I take a staycation, that is what my staycation is like consisting of because I haven't been good at breaking that down throughout the course of my regular schedule, that like I save all my deep cleaning for time when I really want to rest. So yeah, I think that is it. And for my home, I'm at 6.5. I want to be an 8. Did I say financial? I said I'll be a 9. I wouldn't mind being a 9 because I think if I do the whole improvement with retirement, then hopefully that will improve. So that is my assessment scoring. I kind of wanted to go over that with you guys because is part of my reflection, and this is going to play a big role when I come up with my goals. My quarterly goals, not my annual goals, because I'm not doing annual goals. But I am going to do an annual focus area. And I created this cool little, like, I cut this with my Cricut. You can see because you have the borders around it. But I did all this on Canva. So I created these little postage stamps. And then I put icons in there to reflect what category they are. I did not realize that was black. I thought that was blue. Or at least, I don't know. And then that was supposed to be gray. Whatever. We know that that's working out. I'm hoping I can fit all of this on one page. I think if I'm creative with it, I can overlap them. So I even made a little title, which the offset had to be a little big. But I can probably just, well, what am I doing? Don't do stuff on the disc, y'all. Don't do stuff on the disc. So I kind of want this to have my own page. I was going to put it on the back of my word of the year, but I don't think I want to do that. Just because I think I want to be able to like pull this one page out when I need to. And if I need to write notes on the back, I can write notes on the back. If I need to update this, I can update this. I don't know that I want to update this quarterly. I would rather update this like only once this year, because I feel like, in all honesty, a lot of these focus areas are gonna be probably pretty consistent, and I'm gonna explain what I mean by focus. All right, see, this is green for finances, and it's a little piggy bank, just in case I forgot what the green was. So that's kind of how I did it. Like, this was supposed to be blue. I don't know what happened. Let me grab my ink pen and my notebook, because I did brainstorm this. So I think if I was trying to brainstorm this on camera, I might like write down something that I really wasn't 100 about. So I did brainstorm this and come up with everything. So like I said, this is going to have all 9 categories, just because the financial and the work and learning could pop up at any point throughout the year. And I probably will add them to to a lot of my, quarterly goals. So you'll probably see them. All right. So for financial, when I do this, I'm going to come up with pretty much like a focus word almost, because that is what I want to focus on right now throughout the year. If there's a major shift in things, that's when that might change. So for financial, I want to focus on, I want to be mindful. I don't know if that makes sense, because I know when you're talking about mindful, at first I thought about saying mindful spending, but I also need to do mindful savings, if that makes any sense as well. So mindful. I need to be mindful about my money. How about that? Let me put this aside, because I definitely want to put that kind of with my pencil. So this little guy, so this is personal development, and that little emblem there, which I don't know if you can see because I did it like transparent. That's like a lot of times when you type in like personal development, that's what comes up. So personal development is going to be intentional. So I need to be intentional with my time. I need to be intentional with my planning. I need to be intentional with pretty much everything when it comes to personal growth and development. All right. Yikes. I think I can go ahead and put this here now, maybe. Let's connect it. These are like little postage stamps that I got off of Canva, and then I inserted the little icons inside. So it was quite a bit of work. So for my physical health, when you say it, it's gonna consistency. That was the one thing that came up over and over and over again. I can have every intention in the world of doing something. I need to be consistent about it. And it is crucial that I am consistent with it, or else I'm not going to see any of the changes just health related. I'm not talking about like, yes, I would love to lose weight. Yes, I would love to like tone up. but there is a lot more that like, there's a lot more reasons that I need this, and it's more for my overall health, to kind of get in order. And for mental health, I also could do consistency, but what's even bigger for me is positivity. And I think I'm going to say optimism. And I wonder if, like, if I do that, how it would feel, you know, a lot of times. All right. I think one of these long ones would fit better right here, so we'll do that. See, I can overlap them. This is like a guy hiking on a mountain. I do want to go hiking, but that was just, you definitely can't see that because I can barely see that. So that was like, you know, that was weights and food and a piggy bank, and that's it. So what that one is. And this is a shape of a person with a heart on the mind. All right, so for fun and adventure, I was gonna write adventure, but that's part of the title. So I'm gonna write make memories. I want to make memories. That is also a big one for social, but I mean not social, family and relationships, but I think I'm gonna do something else, which once I say it, it's something I've talked about. So all right, and then this is social. So I just did an emblem of two people shaking hands. I don't know why. This one is openness. Does openness, I guess it just has one. For some reason, why do I want to put two N's for openness? Oh, I have two more. I can't even see that one. So we'll do family and relationships with this one. I mean, family and friends. I'm going to change it to family and friends. I'll change it to family and relationships. But I'm an only child, so when it comes to family, a lot of my like other family, I kind of consider friends. They kind of go on that spectrum. All right. So for family and relationships, it is going to be quality time. Okay. Then I have home and work. Oh, but both of these are that direction. So for home, there's a house. And for work, it's like a computer. All right, we'll just do that. It's fine. All right, so for home, and I save all of these because like if I'm redating a planner, I will cut these off to put for my redating. So I do save all of that. Just to let you know, if you do print stickers or anything like that, it's a fun idea. All right, so for home, it's going to be follow through. The other one I had thought about was action, which is kind of the same thing. I struggle with the follow through. I'll have ideas and I won't do it, or even like spring cleaning. I need to follow through with it. And then work and learning, I'm going to put confidence. To try. I think that I don't feel like I lack it as much as I do in other categories. I think I lack the confidence when it comes to a lot of these other categories, like social, even personal growth and everything else. But for some reason, I think with work and stuff, sometimes they're just little things that I'm just unsure of, because there are definitely, like at my work, there are people that have a lot more experience and expertise than I do. And sometimes that is when, you know, you sometimes lack confidence. So yeah, so basically what I did, all these colors except with the blue. I think I'm going to have to get like my blue highlighter or something to kind of show that that's blue. I don't know what happened with my printer. These are all the colors of my categories. This is supposed to be pink. So for some reason, my printer did not print like I wanted it to. So yeah, that should help me figure out what is what, but I mean, I kind of know. But these are my annual focus areas. So instead of coming up with annual goals, this is what I'm doing. So when I think about my quarterly goals, my weekly goals, I mean, my quarterly goals, my monthly goals, and my weekly actions, these are things that I am going to kind of keep in mind when developing all of those. So like fun and rec, I want to make memories. So that means I need to do things. I need to do things outside the house. That's kind of where that came from. I kind of explained a lot of the other ones. I didn't really do a good job of explaining that one. That's why I went through that one. And openness for socializing, as I need to be open to being, I mentioned this last time, to being uncomfortable in social situations or open to try new things, or just open to step outside my comfort zone. Openness. That could also be courage, which was my last year's word of the year. All right, so there we have it. Of course, I was all extra with the boxes that I created on Canva just because I had a trial of Canva and I just wanted to play. So that is why I did that. Obviously, you can use any boxes. You can very well just use colored markers. Or you can just write them down in a list format. But I think this is a good idea to kind of narrow down sometimes all of those goals, because when I was looking at my brainstorming list, it was this that I was kind of coming up with. Like intentional kind of overrode. Confidence was another one that I was thinking about here. I might put that in here. But it was intentional kind of, but these were all of the themes that kept coming out of all of my brainstorming. So there we have it, guys. We have my assessment, my starting assessment for quarter one. So we did kind of get into quarter one, and then we did my annual focus. But with the quarter one assessment, you're kind of like looking back at where you're starting. So that is why I did not include that with my quarter one goals. I wanted to do that now because I am planning on brainstorming some of my quarter one goals, so that way that this video isn't taken forever, because I do think, you know, sometimes when you're setting goals quarterly or even monthly, you don't have to just sit down and do it in a 30-minute to an hour session. You can kind of just have a piece of paper out and jot them down as you need over the course of a couple of days or a day or even a week. So that is why I'm kind of going to do some brainstorming, but I do hope to have that video out maybe even by tomorrow for my quarterly goals. So yeah, guys, there we have it. I hope this helps you maybe do some brainstorming of your own, and maybe it kind of helped explain the process that I'm doing, which isn't like vastly different from a lot of the goal setting systems, but this is kind of how my brain works. And so I did like little tweaks to kind of make it work a little bit better for me. So yeah. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you definitely stayed to the end, then I think you should hit that like button, right? And if you're not yet subscribed, I hope you would also consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you all again for pressing that play button today. And I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening or night. Until next time, bye.